Good afternoon, welcome to another cooking lesson by Stuart. Today we're going to do a warm seafood salad. And this one has been inspired by a lot of Asian cuisine and a lot of travelling I've done around Asia. So what we're going to have, we're going to use the vermicelli rice noodles. We've got some octopus, very simply just marinated in some lemon juice, oil, salt and pepper. Clean it. We're going to have some prawns, we're going to have some scallops. Those are the main ingredients. Then on top of that, we're going to use some cherry tomatoes, baby cucumbers, a little bit of ginger, garlic, and a jalapeno pepper to make it a little bit hot. So first thing we do is we're going to take the vermicelli noodles and we're going to soak it for about 15 minutes until it gets soft and then it's ready to eat. Okay, so excuse me. Now here we've got the noodles. They're just soaking. And this will take 10, maybe 15 minutes to soften up, ready to eat. So we don't have to do anything else with that, so we'll just put that aside for now. The other things we're going to do, the scallops, we've just cleaned, fresh. So we've got the roe on, nice, beautiful, light orange roe. Okay, as I said, the octopus we've cleaned, we've just used the tentacles. King prawns, we've got fresh king prawns. So what we're going to do, we're going to clean them. Take the shell off, leave the little tail on at the end. As they say, slippery little suckers. Take the heads. Now you can keep the heads and all the shells if you like. Freeze them. And when you have enough, you can use them actually for part of a stock. If you're going to make a seafood stock or a prawn stock, then you want to take this vein out, runs down the back. Okay, so just cut along like that. This one's fairly clean. All out, off you go. And you clean your prawns. Here I've done some beforehand where they've already been cleaned, ready to go, and that's all you need to do. So those are ready, and that's your seafood. Now your seafood, you can vary. You don't have to use prawns, octopus, or scallops. You can use some fish, you can use some oysters, some mussels, whatever's available. Try and find some fresh seafood. So that's what we've got to start with that. The other things are, I'll get to it, just clean my board down, and then we'll be back for the next step. Right, here we are back again. The next part of the salad, we've got some beautiful cherry tomatoes, yellow tomato and some red ones. Gives it a nice little bit of flavour and they're nice sweet. Because they're cherry tomatoes and small, nice and sweet. Just cut them in half, like so. These ones which are slightly bigger, you might want to cut them into quarter or threes. And then here's the yellow ones. Again, just cut them simply in half. Put them aside. The other things we've got some little baby cucumbers. Take the top and tail off. Cut them down the center. In half and just cut through like so. You don't have to be perfect. This is a nice little salad which goes in. If you cut them too thin, they'll fall to bits. So just nice even cut, about 3 or 4 millimeters in thick, on a nice diagonal down the cucumber, and that'll give you a nice shape. So you got that there. Next thing we've got some mushrooms. King mushroom here, just do some nice slices of the king mushroom. At the top, just cut through like so. I have a couple of shiitake mushrooms here as well. Just wash, cut the stalk out. Okay, and then just cut down like so, not too thick, otherwise they won't soften. Okay, we have some shallots, spring onions, whichever people like to call them. Okay, again, just lightly cut on a diagonal, not too thin. Through there. Got some fresh garlic, some very thinly sliced garlic you can put in there. And as you see, I'm not worrying about to keep them separate because this is salad, we don't need to keep it separate. They're all going to be mixed through, nice raw product. And then the nice part, jalapeno peppers. Cut them very thin. And you only need, for the amount we're making, which is approximately 4 portions, 3/4 to 1 jalapeno in there. Okay, now all that we'll put in our bowl, and that's part of our salad. Now, when you've got them all there, you can just mix them up, and as you can see, nice and fresh. But what we're also going to do is we're going to add a little bit of mixed leaf and herbs to it. So in here I've got mixed salad leaves, I've got some mint and coriander. Okay, and we'll mix that a little later into this vegetable mix. What you can also use, I've got here celery leaves. Now celery leaves, a little bit peppery, but take the little green ones here, just break them off. They're really nice and they had another texture and another bit of flavour into the dish as well. Okay, so we just mix all this together, put it in. The more lighter the colour of the celery leaves like this, okay, the lighter the flavour. It's not very strong celery flavour, but more peppery flavour. Okay, so we'll put that in. So that's the base of your salad there. Now, I'm not going to mix the leaves until the last minute or they'll go really soggy. So that's the salad mix there. Now we need to make a dressing for this. Now this is very simple, okay, nothing fancy. We're going to have some lemon lime juice. We're going to add a little bit of fish sauce, a little bit of olive oil, some salt and pepper, and then we'll shake it up and mix it. Now you can get a fancy dish to mix it all up and make it into a dressing. You can whisk it if you want, but I find the best way to make a plain vinaigrette style dressing is to actually mix it in a simple thing like a glass jar, and it will mix up properly and off you go. So we've got a lemon squeezer here. We'll just squeeze the juice out. Now while we're doing this, okay, I've already got on the side here a fish stock. You would have seen in the previous show me making one of those fish stocks. I've made a base fish stock there. I've put a little bit of ginger, a little bit of seasoning, and that's what we're going to poach our scallops and our prawns in. Now the octopus is going to be slightly tough if we just do it in that. So what we're going to do with the octopus is we're going to saute it off. And we're going to put it in a pan. I've got some of my herb butter which I make on the side. And we'll pan fry it in the herb butter. So here we go. We've got a lemon juice. You want a little bit, put a little bit salt, peppermill, a little bit of fish sauce. Now with this, best way to do is just put it in by spoon. You don't want to get too much or it gets really over the top. So we're going to put 3.5 spoons in there. A little bit of sugar, just plain white sugar. If you have palm sugar is another good one to use. This just takes a little bit of the tang of the lemon and lime away. Okay, and then we add some extra virgin olive oil, about the same amount as your lemon juice. Now what I'm going to do that is, instead of grabbing a whisk, I'm just going to pour this straight into there. And as you can see, it separates there still, but once you give it a shake, make sure the lid's on, you have a mixed dressing. Perfect. All you need is a glass jar. Right, back to our noodles that have been sitting here. As we can see now, they've softened up nicely here and they're ready to eat. We'll leave that for a couple minutes while we cook the seafood. Okay, but before we put that in with the salad, what we're going to do is lightly rinse and make sure it's drained off well and doesn't dilute our dressing. Okay, now the seafood. Here's my stock over here, which is just finishing to heat up. I've got my pan here where I'm just going to put a little bit of oil and a little bit of my herb butter. And then I'll saute off this octopus in there. So there's the octopus. It's just been marinating for a couple of hours first. Okay. When I cook my prawns and scallops, I'm not going to put them in at the same time into the dish. Okay, because the scallop will take less time to cook than your prawns. So you want to make sure that you don't overcook the scallops or undercook the prawns by cooking them both together. Now this is one of these salads you can make. You can add all sorts of different things to your salad to make it really meet what you want it to do. Because it's the type of salad in which you can add different seafood, different fruit and veggies if you want, to actually make it come out nice. So here we've got a stock boiling. We'll take our prawns, we'll put them in there and that'll just take a couple of minutes to cook. After about a minute we'll put the scallops in. By the time we take them out, they'll both be cooked perfectly together. Now our oil and butter here for our octopus is starting to get hot. Okay, now if I have my scallops in here, now they'll all be ready in a couple of minutes. So as you can see, nicely turning away. We're just going to brown that lightly. Okay, so here, I took it off. So I'm just resting that over there. Okay, here we go. We're getting a nice caramelization in the pan with the butter and the octopus, so we'll leave that there for a minute. They'll cook. Okay, now our salad here, as I said, we've got all our fresh vegetables and herbs in here. Okay, so back again. I've drained my noodles that are ready to eat. I've got my octopus here nicely caramelized. As you're looking at, you can see the butter's nicely caramelized. My rest of the seafood, which I'm just going to add, but my pan is off. So I'm just going to toss it all together, so all that flavour goes through everything. Okay, into there. This is where it's nice to actually work with a pair of gloves and not a pair of tongs, because you want to mix your salad here, but you don't want to crush all your ingredients. So what we make sure is we just toss our salad when we do it. So we're going to toss our salad, so we get this part. We'll toss all this. Notice I haven't added the dressing, the lettuce leaves and salad and herbs into it as yet. So now, if you can see that, the fresh salad vegetables have mixed nicely through all the noodles. We then have our seafood here. Now, as you see, that's been sitting, it's separated again. We shake it a little bit, mixes itself all up. Taste the dressing before you put it in. It's good. I'm going to put a little bit over this while it's warm, because that will soak in to the seafood. The rest I'll put in here, and then we pour that over. We get our fresh leaves and herbs, we mix in, and then we toss. Okay, and just fold all that seafood through. And as you see all the beautiful colours, the herbs, the octopus, the prawns, the scallops, all in there, all nice colours, beautiful flavours going through. Then again, just take a little bit. Where my spoon's gone. A little bit of salt in that, not too much. And here we go, a nice warm seafood salad. Okay, I'll dish that up in a couple of minutes into a couple of plates. Okay, we're going to plate this up as individual portions. You can also do this as a platter if you really want, but we'll put the noodles down first. And now we'll just put a dollop of the seafood and vegetables on top. A little bit of the dressing in there. Okay. And here we go. Very simple, very quick to prepare, warm seafood salad. Okay, thank you very much. That's today's session. Nice, fresh, can be made anytime during the day and is a very light meal. Hope you enjoy it. Thank you.